Good afternoon, Santa Clara. I'm Mayor Lisa Gilmore. Thank you for joining us today for Mayor at Noon. You'll have an opportunity to ask us questions live. It's hard to believe it's already September. Our community continues to persevere through this pandemic. Even before the pandemic, food insecurity was an issue for many people. When COVID-19 impacted our community, access to basic resources, including food, became a critical challenge for many, many more families. During these challenging times, we relied heavily on the city and many organizations and people throughout our community. One of those organizations is our very own St. Justin Community Ministry in Santa Clara. St. Justin's Community Ministry operates a food pantry program feeding in excess of 2,000 residents per month, 5 days a week. Today, we are so fortunate to have Nancy Ueda from St. Justin Community Ministry, who leads the operations of the food pantry. Hi, Nancy. So happy to have you here. Nancy is a longtime Santa Clara resident, raising her family here. She decided she wanted to do something to help those in need in Santa Clara. So she started volunteering with St. Justin Community Ministry in 2010. Anyone who knows Nancy knows she's a hands-on person and rolls up her sleeves to get meals and groceries to the Santa Clara community. I am pleased to introduce to our viewers Nancy Ueda. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Nancy, I know you're a very humble person and you don't tell people a lot about yourself, but this is the opportunity. I would like you to start asking about yourself and how did you get involved with St. Justin Ministry? And also, did you always know that you wanted to serve the public?
Well, as you mentioned, I started volunteering in 2010 when my kids had gotten old enough they were able to do most of the things on their own. And I was looking for something to actually scratch a little itch that I had growing up. And that was the disparity, the difference between the rich and the poor. And that was something that hit at my gut for many years. But it wasn't until 2010 when I had the chance to volunteer. And that felt like a move towards, resolving a little conflict within myself. How can I play my part and how can I serve? Who do I want to serve? And this is the community that felt right. In college, I had been exposed a little bit to community active help. And we would go downtown San Jose and help out, help prepare bags of food. And all different people would volunteer. And it was a wonderful experience. So remembering that, I was looking for something similar, and that's what happened at that point. Was there a second part to that question?
Yeah, the second part was, did you always know you wanted to serve the community?
No.
No?
No. Unlike the kids that are in high school, junior high now that have community service requirements, we didn't have that growing up. And so it was a new thing for me. This felt right. And it is wonderful. I do see many kids now, and they come to the food pantry to help, to volunteer for their community service. And it is wonderful energy that they are doing this from young, getting to know as part of their education that this is a possibility, just in their free time. Maybe they want to do something with their career, but it's to help the community.
You're right. When I was growing up, we didn't have a requirement for community service. To see it now, it's great. But as you said earlier, you were concerned about the economic divide. It's gotten bigger now and bigger and bigger. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I think you might be scratching that itch right now, so much so that in 2020, you received the COVID Hero of the Year Award for District 6 from, at the time, Councilmember Teresa O'Neill. So I think we have a video of that, so can we move to the video, please?
Hi, I'm Nancy Ueda, Food Pantry Manager at St. Justin's Parish Community Ministry. Thank you to Councilmember Teresa O'Neill for recognizing me as a District 4 COVID-19 Community Hero. St. Justin's Parish Community Ministry has always provided food to the community, but now more than ever, there's a greater need to help those impacted by the pandemic. We are all in this together. It is an honor to be recognized for this award. I also want to recognize the entire team at St. Justin's for their dedication and hard work serving the community and our neighbors in the city of Santa Clara. Thank you.
Okay, that's really wonderful. So from, again, having an itch to do something for the community, fast forward to Community COVID Hero of the Year for District 6. I think that, District 4, that's pretty impressive, Nancy.
And I have to, pause and recognize again that community ministry is made up of so many people volunteering, so many helpful hands. Even the people who just write a check, they are represented by community ministry. So here are some of the pictures of people that have helped out at the food pantry a lot.
Okay, this is wonderful. Are we going to pictures now? No, okay. All right, so we'll see some pictures soon. So Nancy, do you only serve and distribute food, or do you provide other goods to patrons as well?
Our main mission is to give food where it's needed. So most of the time, 99% of the time, that's what we're doing. We do provide some other things for our unhoused clients. We have hygiene kits that are made up of, like the little dentist goodie bag that has, toothpaste, toothbrush, soap. Okay, these are not the dentist ones, but
yeah.
Some soap, some shampoo.
Socks, are there socks in there too?
Sometimes there's socks.
Sometimes there's socks, I've seen those.
For the past year, there's been socks.
Good.
Lotion, so, a lot of the stuff you can get at the hotels.
Is it based on your donations? So let's say you get blankets or toothpaste or do you distribute just based on who or what company or individuals donate?
Most definitely, because we have a small room. We have a little storeroom in back, but it's really the size of a classroom.
I've seen it, yes. Yeah. It's pretty small.
We have enough space, but we do, whatever we get, we have to give out.
Okay.
That is the purpose of the food pantry. And it's not meant for us to hold on the shelf,
Right.
It's just meant to be used. So, yes, so we give hygiene kit stuff. Like you said, blankets, when we get donations of blankets, sleeping bags, those are really helpful. Socks.
I know at the end I'm going to ask you, what do you need? What do you need? And I can see the list already, so the community needs to listen to what you need because there's a lot of need out there. So let me just ask you a few more things. What are the requirements to receive the food or the goods? And do you have to show an ID, or do you have to be a resident of Santa Clara to receive the food or goods from the ministry?
Before COVID, we did have a requirement. But since COVID, we've since welcomed whoever comes to ask for help. If you're unhoused, you just give your name. And we're just keeping track of how many people that we are giving lunches to. If you have a place to cook, then we ask for an ID, a picture ID. And it doesn't have to be Santa Clara City. It can be, where your last residence was. It's just so that we know that you're who you are.
Do you have a predominantly Santa Clarans that are coming? I know the unhoused may not have of residents, but
Yes.
They're here in Santa Clara. Are they mainly Santa Clara?
Yes, most of the people that we help are from Santa Clara.
You're physically located, and for those who don't know, St. Justin Ministry is on Homestead Road between Kylie and Santa Tomas Expressway. So you are strategically located in almost the center of the community. So
that's true.
I can see why you're serving everyone. Tell us about your support partners and what is the source or sources of your food and donations. You told us a little bit about individual donations, but what's the source of the food and donation?
Most of our food comes from Second Harvest Food Bank.
Oh, bless Second Harvest Food Bank.
Silicon Valley.
They've gotten us through this pandemic, let me tell you.
All of us, right?
Right.
They've been so good in trying to get us enough food, and they have. They've been consistent with, meat, giving us some chicken each week, eggs, canned food, and they've done wonderfully. They also have a network of partners through Food Rescue. And so through that program, we're able to receive food from the local Luckies. And I think it's in that direction. No.
Yeah, it's.
No.
I shop there. Yes, it's over there somewhere.
So every day we have
Right.
a volunteer picking up from Lucky and bringing back some baked goods, some dairy products, and some meat. Sometimes there's other things, but it's stuff that they're not selling at the time.
Right.
So it's very helpful.
I know for a very short time, the River of Life Foundation was involved in a program called Farm to Families, and they had the big food boxes, and we were delivering food boxes to your ministry over I don't know, 4 or 5 week period.
Yeah.
And I know you easily got that food out to the community. You know what I really liked? I like to see the churches and communities working together, River of Life with St. Justin's and the Portuguese community, and everybody was working together to get that food out. And the need is tremendous.
Yes.
For people that didn't always need food help and assistance,
Right.
who felt uncomfortable getting food help and assistance. And I wanted to ask you, I know we didn't talk about this too much, but what is it like for people that are coming to you for the first time to get this type of assistance, and the hesitation or the embarrassment or shame of that?
Right. It can be very hard for people. People don't like to ask for help. And many times we hear people say, other people need it more than I do. I'm not going to do it. But that's what we're there for. If you can get help with food and put that money that would have gone towards food to something else.
Rent or utilities,
yes.
or your children's
yes.
books
Clothes,
or whatever.
Yes. That is worth it for us. And you mentioned the city of Santa Clara helping, and that was one avenue, the River of Life. And through them also we got some hot meals from the
Martin Yen,
restaurant.
Yes, we delivered those they were good too,
Right.
the hot meals. I know there was a large unhoused population that came to get those meals and really loved them.
Yes.
Having that hot meal, they felt very, very, very grateful for that.
Mariani's was another, they helped us, they brought hot meals once a week. And that was
Linda Lecca at Mariani's,
Yes.
and Lou Mariani. Thank you so much to Mariani's. They've been wonderful through this as well.
People would look forward to that, and that was just wonderful. And that was during the COVID time.
Right.
Let's see, other partnerships.
Yes.
We have schools that do food drives, and they'll bring the food over. And that gets their kids involved, which is wonderful. During the holiday season, we can talk about that later, but
Right.
They hold toy drives so that we, can pass those out during Christmas.
That's wonderful. So thank you for doing all that. So speaking of, volunteers and the children, where do you get your volunteers, and what kind of jobs do you have available for people that do want to volunteer?
It's mostly people in the community that want to help. Whether you have some extra free time, you've just retired and this is something you've wanted to do to give back to the community,
It's fulfilling work, isn't it?
It's fulfilling work.
It makes you feel very good when you're
Yes.
helping people.
It is, and it's mixing. it's stirring up, people come together. And you don't always get that opportunity at your workplace. It may be a certain number, but this is, always with the goal to give.
And help.
Yes.
Right. Help each other.
So we are looking for some people to help.
Okay, we're going to have that ask at the end. We need volunteers.
Okay.
We need food. We need blankets. We have a need, and we're going to get that for you, Nancy. Santa Clara is a very generous community, and we all want to help, in our own way, big or small, whatever it is. We want to help our fellow residents and citizens.
It is always appreciated. Some people feel like it's just a small, this is just from our backyard, it's a bowl.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It helps somebody else. It's your extras that, I've had it 5 times, this week, but for someone else, it's wonderful to have these fresh tomatoes. It's something different that's in the bag. It's wonderful.
And I think that's what I want to emphasize later, big or small.
Yeah.
If it's from your tree in the backyard or something that you'll take it. And pass it on to someone who needs it. How have your operations been affected by the pandemic?
At first, the first month or two, we had a lot of new people who had just lost their jobs, who were worried about what was going to happen. Then it eased off a little bit. And a lot of people, we found out later, didn't know we were open. So everything closed, so they assumed that no. And they were being very careful also not to go out. So it has gone down a little bit. And we had talked about how Second Harvest is providing so much more food to different organizations that popped up and stepped up to feed people in their communities.
Like the Salvation Army, which is right down the street on
Yes.
Homestead Road. I know the city partnered with Salvation Army, and every
Yes.
Wednesday we're giving out food as well. So there's other opportunities, River of Life, Salvation Army, all different places we're giving food. So you weren't the only game in town.
Right.
All of a sudden it...
And we're all for it.
I
yeah,
agree.
We're like, if you can get food from multiple places, better off,
Right, and I think we have some photos of your operation. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what's happening. So
during COVID, we did have to we went outside instead of welcoming people inside. Here
I recognize Joe Bauer. Hi, Joe. Okay.
we've gotten donations from other churches. That van full was given to us by
Is that that's your storeroom, right?
That's our working room.
Oh, it's tight.
There's Father Gerald and Joe's mother.
Oh.
She's 90-something, and she was helping make sandwiches.
Look at that.
This is part of our Thanksgiving or Christmas giveaway. Yeah.
So everything's outside now.
That was, what is a motorcycle club? Anyways.
Oh. So someone's packing all those bags. Those are all your volunteers.
And our volunteers are so important because they are not there day in and day out. They come on certain days and they are fresh and they are kind and
And
the
they're all
desire to
ages
help.
too, aren't they? All ages.
All
Everybody
ages.
can help. Open to everyone to help. That's pretty amazing. And just the organization of the food, trying to organize it and get it out.
Right. In such a small space, we have to be
But
wise
look what
with
you
our
do
decisions.
with it. You very organized. I'm impressed. Very, very organized.
When we're not, we trip over each other, and that's not safe.
It's true. It's true.
We have parents from the school who have come and help, friends of friends helping, longtime parishioners.
Well, thank you to all these volunteers.
Yes.
And they look like they're very happy helping. It's for such a good cause. So this is an interesting question, but what is your prediction for the short-term needs and the food needs in the community and longer term after the pandemic? Where do you see your needs going? I know it's crystal ball, but what do you see, Nancy?
I I believe that it's going to we're always going to have the need for food, for assistance. We also always have the need to serve. And that's where this is a wonderful handshake at the community ministry, where people can scratch that itch of needing to give. And people, we hope, will always come to help, to come and ask for food. I hope, though, that we're not needed. I hope that
well, that would be nice.
Yeah, if food was not needed, that would be the best.
So we're now going to be entering the holidays, and you've had to adapt to the changing health environment with any group meals you may have distributed or not. So what can we anticipate for this upcoming holiday season? And I know that the community really focuses on donating during the holiday season. So what do you expect for the ministry?
Right. One thing I didn't mention earlier was that part of our outreach is making meals for seniors, and that would have been twice a month. But during COVID, we had to stop doing that. So we hope that they have been helped with the city's senior lunch program, because that has helped us. That was another wonderful help. We got the leftovers.
We really had to enhance that too and do weekend meals as well for the seniors.
It really helped. We got the leftovers and we gave them out to the community. So now I forgot where we were.
No, that's okay. Holidays. So,
yes, holidays.
Christmas.
Every Thanksgiving and Christmas we prepare bags, and you saw some of them in the slideshow. We prepare bags of the holiday meal. So that would be either a ham or a turkey, some canned yams. We don't make it, but we provide all the fixings for someone to make it at their family.
Own meal, if they have the facilities to make their meal, right?
Right. That is about 350 families that we help out. It's a little bit more during Christmas. And in the past, we've been able to get more help indoors. We pack the bags together. We pass them out. And during Christmas, we'd have, there are so many organizations that donate.
Donate meals.
Donate, yes, the food, the canned food, the dry goods, the turkeys, the hams, but also groups that donate toys during Christmas. So a couple of the churches, a couple of the schools, Toys for Tots, the Harley-Davidson holds a big Toys for Tots thing. And we're the beneficiaries for some of that, and we're able to give to the community. So I know that one of our more recent ones, when we did have toys to give out, it was about 1,500 kids that got toys. And it was, again, a community effort. The parishes, the schools.
Great. I think that's wonderful. Now, before we go to see if there's any questions or comments from the audience, I don't want to forget to ask you about the ever so popular St. Justin's Thrift shop. I know it closed a while back, but so many members of the community consistently ask if it may return someday. So do you have any insights that you can give us as to the return of the thrift shop? Nancy, I hate to put you on the spot,
no.
But okay.
my awesome bosses, Joe Bauer and Father Chris.
She had to say that, Joe Bauer. Yes, okay, Joe.
They are really awesome. They're the ones who are trying to, factor in all the requirements, because we are on school grounds. And it will be open probably on Saturdays and Sundays still. Okay. Because we are on school grounds.
Okay.
And they know, they get the calls also so often. So they want it to be very soon, and they are trying to figure out a way to make it happen.
Okay. All right. We're crossing our fingers, because during COVID, we all cleaned out all of our houses, and we have a lot to donate. So
I've noticed.
Yeah, I think you might be inundated, but there's always people looking for, wonderful things to have at a very low price.
Low price, and it really helps the community.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, okay, well, thank you for that insight. So it looks like we have some comments from our audience. From Larry Oliveira. Keep up the good work, Mayor Lisa Gilmore and Nancy Ueda. Thank you, Larry, and thank you for watching. I know he's a loyal viewer. Thank you so much. From Chris F. Go Nancy. Thank you for everything you've provided to the community. A hero and role model for all of us. Totally agree. Thank you, Nancy, so much for what you do. Edward Strine. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you. Thanks, Edward, for thanking the volunteers, because as Nancy mentioned, it takes a village to get all this done.
It does.
And, but somebody has to organize the village. So, okay, we have Cali Kids TV. Thank you to Nancy and all of the community volunteers for helping support those in need. And I think that really sums up the sentiment out there, that you may not hear it all the time, but we are ever so grateful for what you do. So I would like to conclude this program with a request or a call to action from you on behalf of the food pantry at St. Justin Community Ministry that you would like to leave with our viewers. So tell us really what you'd like us to do, because we want to help.
If there's only one thing that I would leave you with, it is, if you need food, if you know someone who needs food, tell them to come. That's what we're there for. Okay. And that's the bottom line.
So this is a resource here from the community. Nancy's telling, if you know anyone, regardless of your situation, no questions asked.
Right.
Come get the food you need for your family, regardless of what's happening. If you can't, pay your rent or you can't pay your bills, come get food so that you can save that money and give it. And on the other side of the coin, for those who want to donate to help those in need in our community, please help St. Justin Ministry with the food program, with food or donations or blankets or toothpaste or socks or anything that you feel that would be to better serve the community. This is the place to, and it's so easy, it's center of town, to go deliver, and they'll be ever so grateful. Nancy?
One other thing that very few people know about us is that we do collect, we are a food pantry, but we also are collecting health aid stuff. So if you have wheelchairs, if you have walkers, if you have the knee strollers, after
a surgery, people have the knee stroller and they don't need it anymore. Crutches.
Bring it our way. Because then when people ask for it, and so when we have enough, we're able to give them out. We don't charge anything, but we're able to give those out. And if we have an excess, then we give it to MedShare, and they take it where people will really need it too.
And there's a need for blankets and sleeping bags. And
especially going into the colder weather.
And jackets. Do you do jackets too?
We do
We
jackets.
have a larger unhoused population in Santa Clara that really need this. Nice. So anyways, thank you so much, Nancy. You've been a wonderful guest and have provided us with so much information. And I can see why you won that award. I can see that now. So that's all we have. That's all the time we have for Mayor at Noon today. Join us next time for Mayor at Noon. Until next time, be well, Santa Clara.